Okay. My name is Larry Hayden. I've been a village resident for almost 30 years. It'll be 30 years in November next month. And I am known around town as a Halloween guy because we just really love to decorate up for Halloween. Okay. I've got 2 kids that grew up and went through Brandon schools and just love this community, participate whenever I can in it.
So you are local, to say the least.
Yes.
That's cool.
I've been here more than 20 years, so I can consider myself local now.
Okay. Then I guess the follow-up question would be, obviously the general election is coming up. Why are you running for office, local office?
Going way back when I first moved in here, one of the issues that's still an issue today, it seems, is sewers. And back then, there was a lot of issues about that. And I got involved ended up running for village council back in '92. I was on there for like 4 years. And that's what first got me working and being involved in the community. I really love this community because it's a small town community. It's got that great neighborly feel, which we didn't have down in Westland. And being involved with the community is just a great way to give back for all the things that the community provides us.
I think your strengths as a candidate are, since you're running for office.
As I mentioned, I have been on the council in the past. Back then, I really am conscientious about trying to make sure I am doing the right thing when it comes to the affairs of the village. So back then in '96, I actually did not run for re-election because I felt that my work was not giving me enough time to properly prepare, and I was out of town a lot. However, that situation changed in 2000, and from 2006, 5 until 2007, I was actually back on the council. And after that, since 2007, after the election, then I've been on the planning commission. I've got a lot of experience with the local government. I've got a lot of experience from the planning commission. We helped write the current master plan. We're currently in the process of writing the new master plan, the revision of it. And I just think that with my background in the community and being involved in the community, I'm also a member of the CERT team and involved in the community that way as well. I've been involved in the Main Street program, so I know a lot of information and background about this community and just can bring a lot of good things and experience to the position.
Obviously giving back of your time to your own community, which is kind of an important factor.
Absolutely.
So, of all of the things that you've watched and since you've been a council person, planning commission, maybe you could sort of digress and say, maybe what's the one thing that you would sort of focus on as a candidate in terms of solutions or problems, or maybe there's a focus area that you have that's interested to you?
Well, there's a lot of issues within our community. I think one of the most important things that we need to address as a community is how do we vitalize the downtown? Obviously, the lack of sewers does pose issues, but there's a lot of different opinions on that, so we have to be very careful about how we approach that issue. I'm not going to get sidetracked on the sewers right now because that's a topic that we could spend hours talking about. But what I will say is I think the most important thing that we can do as a community is we need to get the council, the planning commission, the DDA, the Main Street committee, all these different groups to come together and collaborate in a positive way in order to effect change that will be positive for the community. Right now I've seen a lot of negativity on the current council, and we've had some conflict between the council and some of these other government entities, and I really think that that needs to change. I want to bring a more positive attitude and a spirit of teamwork and collaboration to the council.
Is that called communications?
Part of it is communications, but it's more than just communications. Yeah. It's also being open and honest and truthful with each other and developing that trust.
Is having a history of the background also, I think, helpful to say be somebody who might not have as much,
Absolutely, it's helpful to have the history and the background. I know from being on the council in the past that I've seen a lot of engineering research and surveys and other information that's come through by the council that most of the regular community may not be aware about and that's where I think that having a candidate who has that background and has that knowledge in the past history of some of these issues that are facing us really does help us to have a more informed decision when it comes to deciding on some of the topics that we come in front of our community.
Being a little conciliatory as council members also, I think, would help with communications. I think that's some of the things that other candidates have mentioned in terms of that communications, and I think you have been at that position of public servant and doing that kind of work. So that's, to me, communications is about 85% of it.
I really think it's also important to emphasize that everybody has different hats that they wear. I learned a long time ago as a service engineer where basically what I do is I solve problems. But when you come into a situation and somebody's got a problem, the first thing they do is they're upset. and they will usually take that out on you. And the best thing you can do is you have to realize that you have different hats, you have different positions. It's not personal against you, it's about the situation. And so being able to set aside those personal feelings and be objective about it and keep a clear head and stay calm in situations like that, that's really important to be able to reach a good decision.
Okay. Is there anything we've missed, or is there anything else you wanted to add?
I think that covers most of it. As I said, my main goal is to bring a more positive approach, try to make sure that we work together, and overall I think I really want to see this community thrive and prosper. I've been here many years, and the community spirit here is great. But we do have some issues that are dividing our community, and we need to find a way to try to bridge that gap and work out these differences so we can have a community that preserves our quiet rural atmosphere while at the same time be a thriving community so that we can have all the amenities that we want for our community.
Okay. Thank you for your time.